Now at 7 on WKYT this morning, a busy road in Frankfort is back open after a deadly crash shut it down for hours. We'll have the latest details on the investigation coming up.
Plus, an eastern Kentucky city will hold its first ever Pride Festival next weekend. We'll hear why organizers are putting on that event in Moorhead.
And Donald Trump is urging African American voters to give him a chance, while Hillary Clinton took a day off from the campaign trail. We're on the campaign trail on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for tuning in on your Saturday.
And I'm Sean Moody. Happy weekend to you. Looks like a Saturday it's going to bring a little bit of change.
Yeah, maybe a Saturday to sit inside this morning and have your coffee. Right, Mike?
Well, once we get into the afternoon, that's where active weather gets here. Right now, across the state, things are looking pretty good. A little foggy in some spots. Notice in the Breathitt County area near Jackson, some fog along the mountains there. But through the rest of Kentucky, things are actually starting off quite quietly. But if we look at the Defender radar network, that's going to tell us a different picture. We look over western Kentucky and close to the Adair and Russell County areas, and that's where we're tracking some thunderstorms beginning to work their way eastward, pretty much following I-64 west, following it to the east. That, as you can see, is becoming organized. This line now beginning to connect the dots, and that means that these thunderstorms are now getting going, pushing eastward. We will see even more active weather as we head into the afternoon, too. That's just the first of it. But behind those storms, some big welcome change as we head into Sunday afternoon and Monday. I'll show you what that change is coming up in about 10 minutes.
Mike, thank you. A busy Franklin County road is back open this morning after a deadly crash shut it down for hours overnight.
Yeah, the crash happened on Wilkinson Boulevard near the Hall Street intersection in Frankfort. WKYT's Mike Byer is there live this morning with what we know so far. Mike?
Good morning, Michelle. The roadway reopened around 12:30 this morning. We talked to Frankfort police, who couldn't tell us too many details about the accident, but here's what they told us. Here's what we know right now. Police tell us for some unknown reason, a car crossed the median here at the intersection of Wilkinson Boulevard and Hall Street. Emergency crews say they quickly tried to help the victims of the crash. Police tell us 4 people were involved, 2 in each car. Police say 2 people died in one of the cars. As of right now, we do not know the conditions of the other 2 people injured in the crash. Police are still trying to determine what led up to the deadly accident. Now, we spoke with the Franklin County coroner a short time ago. He said he's not releasing the names of the victims until he speaks with their families, until he notifies their families. And we are expecting him to release those names sometime today. Live in Frankfort, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. We're also tracking a crash in Bourbon County this morning.
This is on North Middletown Road in the county. It happened around 5 o'clock this morning. Police tell us, our crew on the scene rather, that 2 people were in the vehicle that went off the road. We're also told that 2 people were taken to the hospital, and we will definitely keep you up to date throughout the morning and on our website, WKYT.com.
A couple of Frankfort firefighters were taken to the hospital after an emergency call ended with a crash. Police say their fire truck collided with a cement truck during rush hour yesterday on US 60 at Chenot Lane. Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton said the concrete truck driver couldn't see the fire truck and vice versa. He called it just a perfect storm for that crash, but said everybody involved would be okay.
Both firefighters were transported with non-life-threatening injuries, scrapes and bruises. So that's a good thing out of this. The concrete truck driver was okay too.
Versailles Road was shut down for close to 2 hours. Sheriff Melton said there would not be any charges filed in that case.
A federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. 2 gay couples and 2 straight couples filed the lawsuit last year after Davis stopped issuing marriage licenses. She said her religious beliefs would not allow her to issue licenses to same-sex couples. A new state law has removed the names of the county clerks from marriage licenses, which Davis says accommodates her beliefs. Just as that lawsuit is thrown out, a Pride Festival will be held in Moorhead for the first time. So far, organizers say they've gotten a lot of support from the community for the festival. They say they want to show people of the LGBT community that people in Moorhead do support them, including other organizations and businesses in the area.
We want people to feel like, you know, they belong in their community, they're a part of their community, and maybe they don't have to move to those urban areas where they think they have more support when they actually do have support in the rural areas.
Organizers say the event is not about Kim Davis, but about sending a welcoming message. The Pride Festival starts at noon next Saturday. Organizers are launching a scholarship fund for students as well.
Donald Trump is urging African-American voters to give him a chance, while Hillary Clinton took a day off from the campaign trail. Wei Zhang has the latest on the campaign.
Donald Trump promised an enthusiastic crowd in Dimondale, Michigan, he will bring jobs back to the state.
No industry has been hurt more by Hillary Clinton's policies than the automobile industry.
He also appealed to African-American voters. Polls show they prefer Hillary Clinton by a wide margin.
You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs. What the hell do you have to lose?
Earlier, Trump visited flood-stricken Louisiana to survey the damage that has left more than a dozen people dead. He criticized President Obama, who's currently on vacation with plans to visit on Tuesday.
We're glad you're not playing golf in Martha's Vineyard.
Somebody is. Somebody is. It shouldn't be.
But Louisiana's Democratic governor advised the president to wait so the state can continue focusing on recovery efforts. Hillary Clinton veered away from the campaign trail to celebrate her husband's 70th birthday, the same day Trump's campaign chairman resigned. Paul Manafort left amid revelations he may have dealt dirty money when he worked for a pro-Russian political party in Ukraine. The Clinton camp said in a statement, you can get rid of Manafort, but that doesn't end the odd bromance Trump has with Putin. It also said it's time for Trump to come clean on his own business dealings with Russian interests. Wei Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
We want to pass along a traffic alert to drivers heading out to the Hamburg area this weekend. Construction crews have extended the left turn lane on outbound Man of War at the Pink Pigeon Parkway intersection. You may have noticed earlier this week crews paving other turn lanes on Man of War between Sir Barton Way and Old Todd's Road. Now at times, Man of War has been down to one lane as part of the work. Lexington city leaders say all of the work should be finished by sometime next week.
It is that time of year. Hundreds of students are moving into the University of Kentucky today. More than 5,600 students are living in campus housing this fall, and the majority of them have already moved in. Today is the last day of move-ins, with about 550 students expected to get into the dorms. Classes at UK begin on Wednesday, and of course that's going to have a big traffic impact. For more information about that, you can visit WKYT.com. And good luck to all those families that are going to be lined up trying to get stuff into the rooms.
You know what, and I said this in the first hour, and I'll say it again in case somebody wasn't watching. The new thing now is to not call them dorms.
Yeah.
You got to call them residence halls.
Right. I feel like a grandpa now.
Yeah,
my
they said
lingo
you look old
is
calling them dorms.
Oh well, can't fight it. 7:07 on your Saturday morning, and there's plenty ahead here on WKYT this morning.
Poor reviews have not stopped Suicide Squad from reaching a milestone. We'll tell you what the gang has reached coming up in about 10 minutes.
And we'll see if a California fitness trainer can jump his way into the world record books. We've got that story coming up after Mike's forecast.
Humid and stormy weather is back again. I am tracking some thunderstorms this morning working their way eastward, and this is the first round of them. I'll show you what else is in store for us coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Well, the weekend is here, but so are the hot and stormy conditions. Once again, sticking with us, we're just still in this muggy, stormy pattern, and it looks like it will at least last for one more day. Now, if we look at the Defender radar network right now, what was once a disjointed line of storms is now becoming a bit more linear. Things are connecting. If we look toward the Taylor County area, Mother Nature is giving the folks in Campbellsville a free wake-up call this morning. Notice that how in this loop here, those storms that started out disjointed begin to form that line there. Well, that is indicative of the fact that we are set up for thunderstorms to continue to develop here over the next several hours. That's just the appetizer for what looks to be a pretty large entree to our west. A cold front beginning to work its way eastward that will bring us those thunderstorms, potentially becoming a bit strong as we head into our afternoon and evening hours. Behind this front, as we get into Sunday afternoon and Monday, is what we've all been waiting for. Cooler, drier air that's going to make things look and feel fantastic. But we have several hours to go until that point. This is what your Saturday looks like as a whole. Things are going to once again get back to the mid to low 80s and upper 70s, so normal as far as our daytime highs go out there. But as we get into the middle of our day today, today, and as that front approaches from the west, those thunderstorms kick off and stay with us through the evening hours. Here's what it's going to look like here on the big picture. That front already has had plenty of time to get close to us. The bulk of the action still to our north over the Michigan area. We look at Kentucky, and that is where things are going to get active. As we get into our afternoon, things are disjointed but become a bit more widespread as we get into our afternoon. Notice this is 10 o'clock tonight, looking at a pretty large area of rainfall covering most of Kentucky. Some stronger rain over southern Kentucky later this evening. And then that front kind of stalls out a little bit, just a little bit as we head into Sunday morning, still looking at additional rainfall at that point. And it will stay with us even through the early morning hours of Sunday. Notice this is 6, 7 o'clock, still looking at more rain, thunderstorms, one final push as we get into the afternoon. But then behind that front, cooler, drier air is left in its wake, and that is going to make things feel great, really great. Feeling a lot like September as we close out the weekend. But up until that point, rainfall is going to be quite heavy, especially for central and southern Kentucky. We're looking at Lexington and south as the areas that could be picking up quite a bit of rainfall. Eastern Kentucky still could be looking at rainfall. Notice Rowan County above an inch there. Still remains to be seen if that's where the heaviest rainfall totals will be. But nonetheless, central and southeastern and southern Kentucky looking at a decent amount of rainfall in 24 hours. That's why local high water issues could once again become an issue. Jefferson County and most of northwestern Kentucky under a marginal threat for severe weather as we work our way forward here. Could be looking at some of those storms becoming a bit strong. That means some heavy rainfall and some strong winds, not to mention lightning too. By Sunday morning, most of the storms will have taken place through the morning hours, and then into the second half of the day, things are looking fantastic. So if you plan on heading out today, grab the umbrella. Tomorrow afternoon, maybe not so much. Tomorrow looks fantastic, as does Monday and Tuesday. So a little bump in the road here before things get a whole lot better.
That weather makes me want to jump.
Yeah.
Jump.
Go for it. Sure.
Well, I say that because this next story makes you want to jump.
That's right.
A California fitness jumper is trying to set a world record.
Yeah, this trainer is trying to hop to a record for trampoline jumping. Yeah, Jacob Novotny has a pretty big goal ahead of him. He wants to jump for at least 24 hours straight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he said he teaches 3 to 5 fitness jumping classes a day. That sounds kind of fun, actually. But he admits he sometimes takes things to kind of a crazy extent.
And I'm doing it to create and break the world record in jumping without a break on a small mini trampoline, which is now 23 hours and 16 minutes. So I want to go over 24 and see how far I can go.
It's almost there.
Get a headache.
Yeah, that's a lot of moving around on not much sleep. Now, Jacob was live streaming his jumping on Facebook Live overnight. His goal is to keep jumping until 8 o'clock this morning. That's just about 45 minutes from now. We'll see if he makes it to then. And then we do a little bit of Facebook live streaming. We're not breaking any world records with ours, but
well,
you might
never know.
Yeah, you might catch us on Facebook Live in a minute too.
When WKYT This Morning returns, we'll be on Facebook Live Plus.
Yeah, fashion's biggest night is heading for the big screen. The annual Met Gala will be the backdrop for 2 new heist movies. We'll tell you what those are when we come back here on WKYT This Morning. Welcome back. It's 7:18 now on your Saturday morning. The Joker has a new role. Plus, fashion's biggest night is heading for the big screen.
And looking at the box office, analysts expect last weekend's top 2 movies, Suicide Squad and Sausage Party, to stay on the top. David Dan.
I can't wait to show you my toys.
Suicide Squad's Joker, Jared Leto, is jumping into another highly anticipated project, the Blade Runner sequel. No word on Leto's role in the follow-up, the plot of which is also under wraps. We do know Harrison Ford is returning for the sequel. It's set several decades after the original, and it's due in theaters in October of 2017.
Well, we almost pulled it off, despite what everybody thought.
Poor reviews haven't stopped Suicide Squad from reaching a milestone, $500 million in worldwide box office in just under 2 weeks of release. With a decent showing this weekend, it could rise into the top 10 for the year. Fashion's biggest night is headed for the big screen. According to The Hollywood Reporter, New York's annual Met Gala is set to be the backdrop for 2 upcoming heist movies. New Line's appropriately named Met Gala Heist and the much buzzed about Ocean's 8, starring Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett. Well, the Met Gala is called the Oscars of Fashion.
In the arena, there is no law. Racing is a blood sport. If you lose, you die.
Ben-Hur is looking for some divine intervention. The $100 million remake of the historical action epic is getting weak reviews and tracking to debut with just $10 to $15 million. The producers are rallying Christian and faith-based audiences to turn out, hoping to boost that total to $20 million and give it a shot at topping Suicide Squad for first place.
How did two 20-something young men land a $300 million Pentagon contract?
I have a big idea.
Miles Teller and Jonah Hill star in War Dogs, based on the true story of two unlikely arms dealers during the Iraq War. The comedy is getting good reviews, and box office watchers are predicting an opening weekend of $12 to $15 million.
I'll use magic to tell stories. If you must blink, do it now. About epic battles, warriors and monsters. But I had no idea my stories were actually true.
Kubo and the Two Strings, featuring an all-star voice cast, is earning the best reviews of this weekend's new movies. Analysts expect the animated adventure, set in a fantastical Japan, to debut with about $13 million, setting up quite a weekend box office battle. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, 7:21. There's still more to come this morning.
Yep, sports is next.
The high school football kicked off last night. We'll have those highlights and preview UK's upcoming scrimmage later today. That's next in sports.
Active weather is already getting going this morning. The first round of thunderstorms already lining up over Kentucky, but there is more on the way. I'll show you coming up. Saturday is here, but so are the storms, something that we have dealt with almost every day here this summer in the Bluegrass. But right now over Marion and Taylor counties, a pretty organized line of storms tracking eastward that just a few hours ago wasn't even here. That just goes to show you that we are still stuck in this humid, stormy pattern. Within this storm, you can see the yellows and the reds even. That's some heavy rainfall working eastward as we get into our morning hours here. Doesn't look like it should have a widespread impact just yet, although we look to our west and a pretty large cold front is set to bring us that widespread wet weather. That won't be until later this afternoon and through the evening and overnight hours as this front approaches from the west. Behind that front, cooler, drier air that's going to make Sunday afternoon and Monday feel a world's different from what we'll feel like this afternoon. So say goodbye to the humidity. Things are going to feel great as we get into Sunday and Monday. Today, though, it looks like another day of active weather with humid conditions. Temperatures back to the mid to low 80s with the chance for thunderstorms to continue through the afternoon and overnight tonight. If you're heading out, be sure to bring an umbrella with you just in case. Tomorrow, things are looking a whole lot better, but just in case, toss one in the back seat for this afternoon. Lee Kay is back in with sports.
The Kentucky Wildcats have a scrimmage scheduled for later this morning, the second of fall camp, and it'll be a very important scrimmage. 1 week ago, Mark Stoops said that running back Michael Horton had suffered a significant ankle injury, but Horton, well, he's back in practice already. He says he feels good, and there's no way that he was going to miss this second scrimmage.
Oh no, I'm going full go. It's a competitive job. I got to get the job, so I'm going full go, full blast. I always get worried, but Coach Graham has taught us that competition is the drive. You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to come to practice. It makes you want to do extra and study film and stretch. And like I've done so much, extra stuff that I've never done. Like I've always watched film, but I've never, took this time to get an extra stretch in. So I feel great.
High school football season kicked off last night. Only game in the city, number 8 Lexington Catholic hosting Boone County. Foreshadowing here, Kirk Fago and Rhett Ryan. 4th and 15 Fago to Ryan for the 20-yard strike. It was 7-0 Lex Cath. Ensuing kickoff, and that means this has to be a good play here. Rondell Douglas takes it at the 25-yard line and then literally starts running really, really fast. 75-yard kickoff return and touchdown. That's how we save time in TV. The Knights, though, would answer. Fago downfield to Eric Sodi with a diving grab. Lex Cath gets the win 41-18. USA men's basketball taking on Spain yesterday afternoon in the semifinal round of the Rio Olympics, and Team USA wins it 82-76. They will take on the winner between Australia and Serbia in the gold medal game. That is on Sunday. That's a look at your morning sports. Have a great day.